Everyone's following us on our social media page and also going to be listening to this on Radio Nukalofa 88.6 FM. It's an honor for me today to welcome our first ever Anti-Corruption Commissioner to the Kingdom of Tonga, Anti-Corruption Commissioner, Mr. Chris Lahatte. First, welcome to the Kingdom of Tonga.
Thank you so much, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to everybody. I'm very keen to have people know that we're up and running and that we're accessible to everyone.
I think the first question in everyone's mind is, what is the primary objective of the Office of the Anti-Corruption Commissioner?
If we look at the act that sets up my office, it says I'm to look at serious and systematic corrupt conduct and consider the responsibility and role of the public sector in the prevention of corrupt conduct.
How does the mandate of the Anti-Corruption Commissioner align with the Tonga's goals of promoting transparency and accountability in the public office?
We're really part of a support structure working with allied agencies such as the Ombudsman and the Auditor General, and we're part of a team with common goals to achieve the best governance possible.
What specific instance of corruption change can the Office of the Anti-Corruption Commissioner investigate?
We've got a wide mandate for all sorts of behaviour, but perhaps some of the key things are bribery, malfeasance in office, fraud, secret commissions, giving people advantages which are unfair, that sort of thing.
I think this is a very important question. The next one I have for you, Commissioner, is how does the newly established Office of Anti-Corruption Commissioner strengthen the legal frameworks against corruption in Tonga?
It will give people more confidence in the institutions so that they know that if something bad or mischievous happens, they know that there is a place to resolve that rather than just leaving it out there unresolved.
And talking about a place to resolve that, can the Anti-Corruption Commissioner take action against both public and private sector corruption?
Our role is for public sector corruption. We don't have the power to deal with anything in the private sector except to the extent where you have some connection with the public sector.
And talking about the investigation, what investigation method will the office employ to identify and address corruption in Tonga?
We want to be open to receive complaints or even suggestions by letter, by email, by someone going on their Facebook page. There's no limit really as to how you can contact the office. So when someone makes a complaint and it is something that's worth investigating, we'll be in touch and we'll talk to them, we'll talk to people. If people don't want to talk, we have the power to ask them to come in. And if necessary, we can ask the court to issue a warrant to make them come in.
Commissioner, I think you being here, it's going to entice transparency, mostly in the public sector. How will the Office of the Anti-Corruption Commissioner ensure transparency during its investigation?
We will report to the King and Privy Council each year and deliver a copy to Parliament. In addition to that, our office is audited by the Auditor General, so there are those protections knowing that we're being watched as well. But what I hope is that the people of Tonga will see what we're doing and gain confidence from the investigations as they come in.
Are there any partnerships with international anti-corruption bodies that the office plans to leverage?
Very much so. We are supported by the UN Convention Against Corruption, and they have a Pacific-wide mandate. I've already talked to them, and they are supporting me to visit a conference of anti-corruption commissioners from Australia and the Pacific at the end of this month. And at that conference, I want to network with everybody, find out what they're doing, and learn from it so that we can have the best possible systems in place.
You being appointed and you being here, Commissioner, gives hope to Tonga, especially to fight against corruption. This question is probably what people are most likely going to be thinking about is what kind of penalties or action can the Anti-Corruption Commissioner recommend once corruption has been established?
We have the power to do a number of things. If it's only a minor example of corruption, then I would probably report to the government body and suggest that they take some steps. If it's significant issues, then I will be talking to the Attorney General and likely laying criminal prosecutions.
The public will probably have a lot to say when it comes to your office, especially reporting corruptions that they might have seen. How will these complaints and allegations be reported to the office, and what steps will follow each report?
So once they bring in a complaint, we'll have to go through a process of assessing whether it's serious and what evidence there is about the issues. It's important that we only investigate matters where there is real evidence of something that's happened. I can't work on rumours or speculation.
Talking about the benefit to the country as a whole, in what way is the establishment of this office expected to benefit the Tongan public?
Knowing that they're dealing with a public service who is open and honest and efficient gives everybody confidence. It gives the people confidence. It gives you trading partners confidence.
You just mentioned trading partners' confidence. How does strengthening anti-corruption in our country here in Tonga contribute to the overall economy and social development of Tonga?
People will be more encouraged to invest in Tongan enterprises and in Tongan businesses if they know that their investment is going to be respected and treated honestly and openly.
In Tonga, the relationship between public and government, they trust, they don't trust. What role will the office play in building public trust in government institution?
It's an incredibly important role because knowing that the agency that you're dealing with is honest and is going to do the job without requiring anything like a bribe or favouring people unfairly, that gives you the confidence that things are going to work better and work efficiently. And that saves you money, it saves the government money, and people are happier knowing that they're not going to be ripped off or treated unfairly.
You spoke about investment into Tonga, and with your appointment as Anti-Corruption Commissioner, it leads on to transparency in our country. Can transparency in public office improve investment prospects in Tonga?
Very much so. People who want to trade with any country will want to know that the investment will be used for the purpose it's intended, rather than filling the pockets of people who might benefit unfairly, and by achieving the most efficient way of using that investment. And that means not helping your friends and relations, or advancing something that's going to enrich you, perhaps not directly, but will give you advantages over other people.
Because the office has been established, or it's fairly new for the Kingdom of Tonga, are there educational programs in place to inform the Tongan community about the benefit of having anti-corruption measures here in Tonga?
It's an important part of this office to have outreach and education. We're just starting off the process, but we will be providing training both in the public service and outside, so that people know what we're doing and how to best work with this office. We will, in the longer term, appoint someone specifically for the purpose of education and outreach.
How can the Tongan public report suspects, cases of corruption to this office?
In any way that they want. You could ring us up, you could put something on a Facebook page, you could send an email, you could write a letter. It's unlimited, really, as long as we have a good, solid complaint with evidence. We'll take everything seriously.
You spoke on the public in every way necessary. They can report incidents of corruption to your office. What role does the community involvement play in the success of the Anti-Corruption Office initiative?
They need to have faith in this office, and we need to build up that faith and trust to know that if there is corruption, then there is a place to deal with it, and that this office is actually dealing with it.
I'm here today to interview you as a member of the media. How can media, including, like myself, organization, assist the office in its anti-corruption mission?
There are many ways, but this interview today is a good example, because you've given me the opportunity to talk to people about what we're doing, and I'm grateful for that. But people often come to the media when they come across something which is rotten, and feel free to contact the office, and we will look into it.
What resources and materials that's available in this office to help the public understand the importance of the office's work?
We're in the process of setting up a website. We will likely develop pamphlets and other materials so that people know what we're doing. We'll have our Facebook page to let you know on anything significant that's happening. And of course, I hope to talk to the media like you from time to time to provide an update.
Anti-Corruption Commissioner, the job that you have, you know it's a big job to have here in the Kingdom of Tonga. It comes with you potentially investigating people in government in all sorts of levels, including the highest one. How you feel about this job and taking on such a big task in fighting against corruption in our country?
I'm humbled by the confidence which has been placed in me by appointing me, and it will be my aim to set up an office that achieves the goals that we've talked about. I'm just a person in the job. I hope to develop a team. I've started already, and collectively we will make a difference.
the statement that you put out that you're going to be here in the first 6 months. You're going to be listening. Can you please elaborate on that 6 months and what the listening will help you with the job?
Well, actually, when I say I'm listening, I hope to be listening for the whole of the time that I'm doing this job. But in particular, because of course I'm from New Zealand, I've not lived in Tonga before, I need to understand what Tongan people want. I have my own cultural concepts and ideas, but I need to understand what Tongan people want, what they consider to be the right way to do things, and what they want me to do. And I'm particularly anxious to listen to people and say, this is wrong, can you do something about it? And also, how can you tell us about the work of the office? I'm expecting people to come and talk to me about that, and they have started already. I've just met people in the street and in places where I've visited, and they have some stories to tell me, and I want to hear them all.
Anti-Corruption Commissioner, I wish you all the best. I know it's a big task for you, Anti-Corruption Commissioner Mr. Chris Lahatte. But before we finish our little interview, to give people an insight of the office and the work you will be doing, do you have any final words for the public before we finish our interview for this morning?
Just to say the office is open for business. We're setting it all up. We've got our equipment which is coming in, and bring it on.
If there's ever a way to end our interview, we're going to end it with that. Bring it on.